One of the things that I get asked a lot, especially when it comes to seller objections, is what do we say to sellers when they ask about, well, what if you don't pay? What do we do if you don't pay? And there are a couple of things that you can do. One, you can give them either a performance mortgage if they don't have equity, or an actual mortgage if they do have equity to be recorded against the property, and then they have a means to foreclose if you don't pay. Now, we don't like to do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it records an additional lien against the property, and it removes some of our options as far as refinancing, if we sell on a contract for deed and pulling out equity and doing things like that. But the primary reason we don't like recording another lien against the property is because what happens if the seller disappears? Especially in a case where a seller doesn't have equity, but we're just trying to give them security that they'll have a way to get the property back if we don't pay. What we prefer to do is we actually created a document several years ago that we call a recourse document, and what it does, it really just lays out the steps that the seller needs to follow if for some reason we weren't able to follow through with our agreement. And it lays it out step by step, the process for them to take the property back. Nothing's recorded against the property, and they seem to find a lot of comfort in that we thought about it ahead of time. We have a document that's part of our closing package when we purchase, and we give them that, go over it with them, explain the steps that needed to be done, and then they can get the house back if for some reason we fail to pay. We created this several years ago when there were some problems in a couple of states where attorney generals had problems in general with subject to, because they said the sellers didn't really have recourse if we didn't pay. So we just created a document to give them that. And that's what we use today. As far as I know, we're the only people that use it, and we just make that a part of our purchase package when we buy property subject to.